Here we have a new 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E. This one comes in the premium trim level with all-wheel drive. So this one has an electric motor on each axle. Comes in shadow black, and then we have the black ActiveX perforated interior. And then this is mated with a 70 kilowatt hour standard range battery. But as you come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights, and the lights don't flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But love the styling of the Mach-E's. I have a red California Route 1, so obviously I'm a little biased, but this is one of the best looking EVs out in my opinion. Now we do get 19-inch aluminum wheels. I like these. I like them better than the Mach-E GT wheels actually. But our charge ports here, we can do a 120 or 240 there, and then that's for the DC fast charge. I think this still takes 150 kilowatts max at a DC fast charge station. But we get passive keyless entry. And then over here we have our controls for our power folding side mirrors. Those have blind spot monitors. And then we have electronic child door locks as well as rear window locks there. And then we can choose a side, turn the mirrors on and off, and then adjust using this dial for the power mirrors. And then one touch automatic up and down on all four doors there for your windows. Now power door locks are here, and then to set your memory seats, all you have to do is just hold whatever setting you want to set it to, and then it'll beep at you. We have a B&O Sound system, bottle holder, storage back there. And then over here, traction control, brightness for the gauge cluster, defrost, and then headlamp control. So that's off, corners, automatic, and then on. And then you just pull this twice to get the hood open. And there we have an adjustment to manually tilt and telescope the steering wheel. And here we have a power driver's seat with power lumbar support. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. But before we check out the rear leg room, huge shout out to Ford of Franklin for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below to it in the description below. I don't know why I always say below twice, but sorry. Now I've said it 3 times. But anyways, pause anywhere you need to if you want to get a closer look at the window sticker. Hopefully it's all picking up. It's super bright out right now. But sticker's right at $55,795. Let's go ahead and check out this space, which I pretty much know how it's going to be again because I have one of these. But so decent leg room for this vehicle. I'm able to sit back here when I have this. I have it leaned back a little bit more than I have it set in my car with the memory seats, but usually I can sit back here without my knees touching, and it's pretty comfortable. But we do get seat back pockets on both sides. Rear AC vents are down here, and then you have a USB-C, USB-A charge port duo there. Now, one of the best and worst things about this car, I think, is this glass panoramic roof. Where this car has been sitting longer than mine does, it's really hot outside, so it's been taking a minute to get it cooled down in here. 2 cup holders in there. Then grab handle, and then you can probably hang, if you need to, 2 plastic hangers, but definitely at least 2 or 3 metal hangers there. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. So we get full LED taillights here. They don't flash like that, again, it's just the camera, but love that look. And your backup camera's right in there. And then one of the best things about this, having this premium trim level, is you do get the power lift gate, and my California Route 1 does not have that, but I don't really care, it didn't bother me any. Then you have a tire inflator kit down there. And then you can put stuff on either side here to keep it from rolling around, but you want to keep it in the trunk. You have that capability. 12-volt hooks on the side here if you want to hang a bag or 2 or whatever. But coming around to the rear passenger side, if you want to fold these seats flat, just pull this lever here, Seatbelt always gets in my way, but there it is, folded flat, and then pretty easy to just slap it back into place. And then just FYI, that's the parts content info. So 12% US, Canada, 72% Mexico. Engine and transmission come from Mexico. So fun fact, doesn't really bother me any. I haven't had very many issues out of mine. I'm gonna do a 40,000 mile review on my California Route 1, but I'll put it on my other channel. But we do have power adjustability for the front passenger, as well as that two-way power lumbar support, like on that front seat there. And then I love this storage pocket here. Mine's pretty much full all the time. And then storage in the glove compartment here. And then you have owner's manuals too. Now again, for the B&O sound system, I have 2 Memphis subs in mine. I think they're like 6.5-inch subs. And that sounds better with a stock radio as opposed to the B&O system, in my opinion. But there's the front space. I usually just keep my charger, and that's pretty much it. That's all I keep up front. Oof. Sorry about burn my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that over. Jeez. It is hot out today. Gosh. Like, my fingertips are still burning. My gosh, that's hot. So you got to give it a slam usually. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So mine's candy red, and that's one of the best things about not having this black, is that black will, well, I mean, all the paint will burn, but black always just seems to hurt a little bit more, whether it's interior or exterior. But we get this nice ActiveX wrap steering wheel. I like the design. I like that it's all blacked out as well. Gloss black kind of coincides with the ActiveX. But over here to the screen, we do have this 15.5-inch touchscreen. Homepage is here. You can pull up the navigation system. Don't really use this. You can use it, but the maps on my iPhone 99% of the time are better. So I don't know if they fix any bugs for my 21, but probably not enough to want to swap there. But we do get we get FM XM radio, and then we have Bluetooth audio, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility with this radio. And it's pretty easy to just set your favorites here. Now, what happens in mine is a lot of the times it'll reset by itself every so often, and then I have to reset all my favorites, so that's kind of annoying. But this is honestly the best and worst thing about this car is this touchscreen. So, first of all, these down here, like your menu options, it kind of just provides the most recent settings that you've used. But again, when I actually need something, I gotta go in there and find it, and I always forget where it is. But Bluetooth connections with this, they're not terrible, but like I'll go in here, I have a phone paired, and then after I go ahead and get out of the car and get back in, sometimes it will not want to connect unless I shut the whole system down. And reminds me, if you ever want to shut that down, just hold the volume down and then hold the right seek button there, and then the radio will reset after you hold it long enough. So I have to do that quite often. But while that's booting back up, USB-C, USB-A port there. Wireless charging pad is only on the left side. Cup holders. And then navigate to park. Hazards. And then we have an electronic parking brake. Pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And the shifter is rotary, so hit the brake, reverse, neutral, drive. And then that maximizes your regen when you're not in one pedal mode. And if you ever want to set it to neutral, if you want to go through the car wash or something, make sure you hit the L after you hit neutral, and you'll go into that 30-minute neutral mode. The center console cubby space is hidden here. Again, I keep this full. I need to clean my car out, but pretty usable storage in this thing for what it is, for it to have a Mustang nameplate, in my opinion. Anyways, radio's back up here. So in this little trip screen, you can go to this trip, which pretty much shows you, since you started the vehicle, climate use, accessories, driving, how much of the battery is actually being used from whatever's going on. And then this will show you since the last time it was reset for trip 1 and trip 2. So those are pretty usable. And then that's the front camera there. And there's the backup camera there with the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. But we're gonna go through the settings screen here. So here is where you can control your drive mode. So you have whisper, engage, unbridle. Then you have your propulsion sound and your automatic brake hold, along with the 1-pedal drive. So I don't know if my one, I've updated my radio so many times because I had one of the first ones that came out, but I don't remember having that there, but they might have moved it anyways. But when you have subs hooked up, because the propulsion sound comes through the speakers, I definitely, if you get that, recommend turning this off. Plus, I just don't really need it, but 99% of the time I keep my car on unbridled because I drive it hard. So, but long road trips, whatever, I use whisper. Driver assistance, you can go in here if you ever want to change your cruise control from adaptive to normal. You have to have the vehicle stop, I'm pretty sure. And then lane centering, I like to keep that on with the hands-free. Lane change assist, I don't think I have that in mine. Again, this one is a premium. Mine's a California Route 1 too, so I don't know if that makes a big difference. But you have your entertainment here, so you can pull up YouTube and all of that. And again, I don't know if that's part of an update, but I didn't have that on mine when I first got it. But climate controls are always down here on the bottom part of the screen, which I like how they did that, even though they can be a little wonky as well. You get the 3-stage auto mode, high, mid, and then low for your levels. And then to turn the auto mode off, you can just turn the knob there. And again, this was something else that it used to be, you'd hit this and then you'd have a drop down menu used with your finger, but now it all goes off the knob here. So again, gift and a curse. But AC toggles there, heated steering wheel toggles there, and then you have your 3-stage heated seats, or you can set it to an auto mode there. But I like to keep that off when it's 90 degrees out like it is today. And then you can hit that to pull up actually where the fan speed is, or where the circulation is coming from, excuse me. And then you can set your dual mode on and off there, and then you can turn your heat on and off as well, and then max AC, and then close your vents off there. And then hit that power button, you cut the whole system off. So again, it's a pretty, once you get used to it, it's not terrible. There's just a lot of gimmicky stuff where you're like, I don't know why they did that. But there's a view of the back seat from up here. One more look at that roof. Again, that does not open. And then you have a sunglasses holder here. Dome lights are here. And then back to the steering wheel, blinker, and then toggle your high beams on and off and flash there. And then you have automatic windshield wipers. So there's one time auto, low, high, and you can adjust the sensitivity of your auto wipers right here. And then your rear wiper is there, that's off, intermittent, and then on. And then pull back for the rear wiper fluid, push up for the front wiper fluid. And then for your safety system, this is the indicator, so that makes sure you're paying attention to the road. It'll tell you to keep your hands on the wheel and watch the road if it senses you not doing that. But you can turn the cruise on and off here, and then that'll indicate what's going on your little productivity screen here. And then you can adjust the gap there. And then if you have lane centering on, or whether you just have the lane keeping system on, you can turn that on and off there, and then set cancel for the cruise. And then you have voice recognition, Bluetooth, volume controls, trackless controls there. There's your push button start. And there's one more thing I like. This is one of my favorite things about this car, is I love the vanity mirror, how you have the white lights there. It feels like you're on an airplane. But finally, here's the key fob. And you do have the option to get something through your phone as well. You can use the app to start it up and unlock or lock the doors, but I usually just use the fob. But next is go ahead and take this Mach-E Premium E all-wheel drive out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Mach-E all-wheel drive in the premium trim, pretty quick, even with the standard range battery. It's no GT, but It's all-wheel drive, and with 2 electric motors, you're not typically going to be slow. But what's great about this car is it has one of the rougher rides, I think, for an EV, but you can feel the road. This is one of the best driving cars, and I know this from personal experience. One of the reasons I've kept mine so long, it just, every time I get behind the wheel, it's just a joy to drive. And they're pretty much all the same. And mine's rear wheel drive, so it's a little bit more fun coming out of corners, but still, this is a fun car, and that's why they kind of gave it the Mustang nameplate. Even though it's not a traditional Mustang, it still has Mustang tendencies. Now, just driving this in this slow traffic, it can get a little annoying, I think. Probably to the people behind you when you give it throttle and you're up to speed, and then you just immediately start braking, because it just accelerates so quickly, so efficiently, and it's just so much fun to do. But again, the driving dynamics of this are very driver oriented. So again, it's not the most comfortable vehicle. I use mine for work 99% of the time, and I have a minivan for if I need to take my family out. And especially just driving in tight traffic all day, it's nice to have something that can get over quickly, accelerate quickly, brake quickly, if you ever need to do any of that. And this is what these are probably best for. But again, I keep mine in unbridled pretty much all the time, unless I'm going on a longer road trip, just so I can have full power when I need it. But the all-wheel drive system definitely makes it easier to drive if you ever are in snowy conditions. Obviously, you probably wouldn't want to be out there because your range diminishes quite a bit. A few other things to worry about, especially because the ground clearance on these is not fantastic. It's not a Subaru, but it does have the capability in lighter snow, having both of those motors. Now the whisper mode, I'll just try this just to show you all. You have to put your pedal down a lot more to get the same acceleration that you do in Engager unbridled, but it does make it easier to drive in this slow accelerating traffic as well. It drives more normally. You could call it an eco mode, but it's really just a non-sport mode, because I feel like Engage and Unbridled are pretty much sport and sport plus. So this is like in between a normal and an eco mode, and it's an eco mode for an EV because those have instant torque. So if you put your foot down, you're gonna take off pretty much on any electric vehicle, even the slowest of the slow ones. But again, driving dynamics are, in my opinion, fantastic, but where you're able to feel the road so well, just having that tighter steering, especially in the unbridled mode, everything stiffens up. The seats can get uncomfortable on longer journeys. And by longer journeys, I mean like a few hours or more, but driving an hour and a half to 2 hours one way, as long as you get out every hour or so, hour and a half to 2 hours, you're usually in pretty good shape. But I will say, I drove a Cadillac Lyric for a few days. I put a review of that up recently, but I drove one for a couple of days, and that had the massage function, very adjustable, and just a smooth ride. So that was like on the other end of the spectrum for EVs. But again, this one is a lot stiffer. I can feel the road a lot better in this. So definitely compare that with the Lyric. The Lyric will ride a lot better, a lot more comfortable, but this is a lot less comfortable, but a lot more fun to drive and a lot more agile in that aspect. Now I'm gonna put in the unbridled as we get on the interstate here, but one thing I wanted to mention is, with this being an EV, a Mustang at that, I don't have the power sunshade for the roof, which is kind of a disappointment, but it gives me so much headroom. I'm 6'3", longer legs, and I have so much more space terms of where my head can fit in the roof line. But hopefully I'll be able to show this thing out. Yeah, great pull, just insanely fast. Just wanted to show a few pulls. And that was with the pedal down. Feels about as quick as my rear wheel drive one. Of course, mine has the extended range battery, but this one's also at 43%. Let's turn on all the safety stuff and see if we can get the, no, it says not available. Okay, you can't see my face, that's why. So it says, so there it is. It's the co-pilot working, keeping centered in the lanes and then keeping the adaptive cruise going. So just a quick sneak peek there. But in terms of competition, I do think that this is a pretty solid option for the Lyric. If you're looking at something like that, pretty much every EV out that's in this realm, even the Subaru Solterra, the Ioniq 5, so many competitors. The Tesla Model Y, I think, is a direct competitor for everyone because it's been such a good seller. But all in all, I feel like this is the most fun to drive. It's not necessarily the most practical, just in terms of being well-rounded, but like for me, it's perfect because I like an agile vehicle. I like a car that I can drive hard and not have to worry about. It burns through tires, but it's just, I love how these cars drive. I love the efficiency of them, and most importantly, they just look so good. But this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E, and this one's in the premium trim level.